Okay, so basically we have our broccoli that's chopped already into bite-sized pieces. We have our cabbage. I have a half a head of cabbage that I've already chopped up, and we have our half a onion. And you don't have to use, purple. I prefer purple. So we're going to start with our aromatics because that's going to be the base of the soup. It's going to be the flavor component. And our vegetables are only going to be cooked until al dente because that is basically why the soup comes together so quickly and so easy, is that we want our vegetables to be hearty. We don't want them to be all mushy inside the soup. So basically, the one thing that's going to cook the most in here is going to be your sweet potato. Once it's cooked, your soup is pretty much ready. So I'm going to start off my soup with about a teaspoon or so, not even, about a tablespoon of coconut oil. And that's what I'm going to saute my onion and my garlic and my pepper. You don't want this really high. You just want to soften them, okay? So I'm going to put a half a pepper in here as well. And the reason this is called detox soup is because obviously it has all this fiber. It has the cabbage in there. If you're looking to just, use it for a couple of days and you substitute a meal, this is a good meal to substitute for detox. It's and again, I'm cutting my peppers. They don't have to be perfect. I'm just cutting them small enough to where I can just saute them together and with those aromatics, because again, this is all going to come together really quickly. So you let those get soft in there. If you don't have coconut oil, then you can just kind of use olive oil if that's your preference. And then I'm going to take my sweet potato and peel it. And this you want cubed into small pieces so that they can cook quickly. And I mean, I'm using these vegetables because it's what I have right now. This recipe does call for all of these vegetables. However, if you don't happen to have sweet potato on hand, you can use, carrots. It works just as well. But basically, if you notice, everything in the soup is really green. So lots of fiber with your kale, lots of vitamins with your spinach, as well as your kale, your cabbage. All of these veggies are going to make you feel satisfied and make the soup really hearty. And actually, you're not going to miss any kind of meat if you when you put this together. So again, you see how I do my my sweet potatoes. Just dice them into little small cubes. And like I said, this is a good make-ahead meal. You can make a huge batch of this, or you can put this in your crock pot. I prefer doing this over the stove top because it's not going to cook all day, like I said, and make it, mushy. I don't like mushy vegetables in my soup. That's why I don't like those vegetable canned soups. Not my thing. So here we go. This is nice and translucent. I'm going to show you really quickly. Okay. And at this point, you're going to put the vegetable that's going to take the most amount of time, which is basically your sweet potato. And you want to cut them all even, like I said, because it's going to... My chopping skills are not the best, but you get the gist. Okay? So you're going to put that in there. Now, you're going to add, I'm just going to put a little bit more of this coconut oil because it's kind of dry in there. You're gonna mix this up. Now, your flavorings, you're gonna be careful with this because you can use all the herbs that you like, you know, and that that you prefer. However, we're going with the base of a detox. You're not gonna use as many things. So one of the things that we're gonna use in the soup is basically ginger. You can use fresh, or you can use powder like I have here. So I basically just put like about a teaspoon of it. If you have turmeric, it calls for turmeric as well. So you want to put turmeric in here. Another teaspoon, and you can smell that ginger boy. Okay? And believe it or not, it does call for a teaspoon of cinnamon. Well, that's going to go really nicely with that sweet potato. And again, cinnamon's good for your circulation. It's an anti-inflammatory, as is turmeric. So this is why the soup is so good for you. So there you go. That's all of that. And then you're going to go ahead and hit it with the cabbage. And you're going to see this is going to be a pot full of fiber. I'm telling you. It's so good though. Then you have your pre-washed greens. So for this particular soup, we're going to use some spinach. I have a handful of spinach in here. And also a handful of kale. Now tell me that's not a lot of greens. That is, you want to coat all of that really well. So in here, I mean, if you just saw, you have your greens, you have your spinach, your kale, your cabbage, your sweet potato, which is your carb pretty much in there. And then all those spices in the bottom. And this is where you're gonna come in and you're gonna use, I have a 32 ounce box of vegetable broth. It's organic. You don't have to use organic if you don't want to. But basically, this is it, guys. You're gonna cook that until those sweet potatoes are completely tender, okay? And really, when that is done, you don't want to add too much salt. You can taste it after, because your broth already comes with salt again. And then here's your secret components. This is gonna give it a kick. It's gonna help speed up your metabolism. And so with this, you wanna put cayenne pepper. You wanna put at least a teaspoon of it. If you can handle 2, go for it. So this is a spicy soup. So you wanna hit it with some cayenne pepper. And I'm gonna add some extra water in here because I have plenty of vegetables in there that need to simmer in. That stock. So here's all my vegetables, my cayenne, my ginger, my turmeric, my garlic. And after this simmers, at the very end is when you want to put your broccoli. Because remember, we don't want this to be all like mushy. So you can do it now, or you can do it after. So you're gonna do the broccoli at the very end, so it's al dente. This cooks like in about 20 minutes. You're gonna cover it, and pretty much that's it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it's done. I hope you give the soup a try.